Hello and welcome to Spirit Level episode 3, I think. This week we're going to be talking specifically about the third eye. I get a lot of questions and a lot of comments that come through specifically about the third eye, and in particular I'm working with somebody at the moment called Alicia Noble, who is looking at how she can open and expand her third eye. I'm about to release a new course on Udemy looking specifically at awakening or activating the third eye, but I just want to run through some things really, and this Spirit Level is all talking about maybe the 5 signs that your third eye is opening or your third eye is coming into play. And if you get any of these 5 signs, that maybe it's time to really think about really expanding your third eye, if you like, in a way that is conducive to both your physical and your mediumship journey or your spiritual journey. The third eye for me is very important. It's part of, you know, my psychic skill set, if you like, my mediumistic skill set, and it's very much driven around the pineal gland in the brain here, which is, you know, looking specifically in the day to bring in light to allow you to have that melatonin, which gives you that bit of good feeling, gives you a bit of color, the vitamin D release, and in the evenings it's there about to sort of work out the darkness to be able to get you into your sleep patterns. But more importantly than that, it is very much smack bang in the middle of your third eye chakra. What I would say about your third eye, really, a lot of people talk about it in isolation, and I go into greater detail when my course gets released, but it really needs to be part of an overall chakra outlook, and not just focusing on the individual third eye as being something that sits alone. It's far from that. You need to have, you know, a good chakra balance. And, you know, we talk about the 7 chakras, but also there's an opportunity. We talk about the 8th star sign chakra as well, which is hugely powerful, hugely intuitive, and allows you to really amplify, you know, your crown and your third eye, if you like. But what I'm going to talk about today is in particular, you know, the 5 signs that your third eye may be opening, and one of which we'll start with is, I get a lot of people telling me that they have this sort of dull sensation of pressure between their eyebrows. Generally, this is when the third eye starts to manifest on a much deeper level. There's a related consciousness or sensation between the eyebrows. It could seem as if if somebody's lightly pressing in the middle of your forehead, and it can come and go. You know, it can come from nowhere and it can go away as well. So whether you're having spiritual feelings or not, it's a signal that spirit is certainly placing the spiritual state into your mind, that this may be the opening sign. I keep holding my head here just to, you know, to feel that third eye, and that could be one of the sensations, is that you start to get a dull pressure sometimes between the eyebrows. Another thing that happens quite a bit when your third eye is wanting to open, or it's the right time to open, is you start to get a lot of increased foresight. I know it's an obvious signal really of the third eye is to get that intuition and we start to experience, but it's also about we start to pay attention to different things as well. Intuition is the capability, if you like, to be able to see something that might happen, but also knowing something is right or wrong because of a feeling of sense. And that's another thing that comes through the increased foresight. It often comes and goes without, you know, notification, again, similar to the pressure, but this feeling can get much stronger and turn into a guiding process within our daily lives. So, you know, sometimes you go somewhere you don't feel right or whatever, and you might feel this starting to build, the increased foresight. And, you know, some people also start to see warning signs of what's going to happen next, and sort of you can get sort of flashes and without expectation. What was that? I saw that. What was that? You know, and that all becomes part of it as well. However, your intuition, your third eye, when it starts to feel, you start to increase that foresight, it's certainly trying to put us onto the right path. So your third eye will always guide you to the least line of resistance. It'll always help you along that journey in that specific place. And that's important. So you may feel some, you know, more pressure here. You might start to have increased foresight or stronger feelings, or sense things more as your third eye is opening really. Also, the third thing that I'd like to discuss is you're prone to light sensitivity. When your third eye starts to open, we can sometimes find ourselves a little bit more sensitive to light and seeing colours more brightly. Vivid colours and our awareness of light may begin subtly. And I talk a lot about subtle energies and understanding them, but it's not always instantly obvious or overwhelming. However, sometimes our sensitivity to light, you might be getting more headaches. You might feel as if, you're feeling a little bit more lightheaded. I was asked one of the questions within my group, I'm doing more and more of your meditations, Julian. I start to get more headaches. I'm starting to feel a bit lightheaded, although I'm getting this dull sensation in my mind and I'm getting a little bit more increased foresight. I don't feel on top of the world. A lot of that is because that's your third eye opening. It's working your pineal gland, if you like. And it's talked about for many years in many traditions worldwide about how the reference to circular and triangles and artwork and all of that comes from this as well. And that light sensitivity is the light beaming from your third eye with some of that artwork that you may have seen. And that's why the third eye gets a lot of talking, because in terms of the chakras, it's very well branded, if you want to talk about that in commercial ways as well. But our eyes will change over time, and we might feel like we just can't get enough sun on our skin. But also, I think if there's a good book called The Celestine Prophecy, which talks about being in the moment and synchronicity, but also about just focusing on the color. When you go out for a walk or whatever, just look at a leaf for 30, 60 seconds and just look at the different colors, the different shades of greens, the different hues, the different vibrations. And that when you open in your third eye, that prone to light sensitivity is going to be more apt, if you like. The fourth thing we talk about when your third eye is opening is a feeling of gradual and continual change. Most importantly, sort of, if you like, fostering a third healthy eye can give you a much better perspective within your own personality, and that results in beneficial changes around us as well. You might start to appreciate and understand yourself a bit more, which then may change your social circles, because you actually start to see people are energy takers, not energy givers, and you need that continual change. You'll start to become more tolerant. You're becoming, you park the ego, may become less selfish, become more empathetic, become more of an empath. Because there is this gradual change you feel, and you're moving, and that's a lot of about a spiritual awakening. Your third eye can be a lot to do with your spiritual awakening. Just the way you question things and the way you think about things and the way you focus on certain aspects, and love becomes much more of a bigger player than what it might have done in the past, and that's really important as well. And finally, I touched upon it just now, is the increase in headaches. A headache pressure is stronger than the pressure talked about earlier, and what happens between the eyebrows. At times, that pressure can become a little bit like an ache. Consider it a little bit of energy overload, if you like. Go outdoors and do something to be able to get rid of that additional energy. Meditations, walking. I talk about kicking leaves. Head pressure is an actual sign of your spiritual eye opening, particularly in the center of the forehead that we consistently talk about. It's an indication that the pineal gland is developing energetically, and that's something very special. So if you are starting to get headaches because you're opening yourself up a bit more, you're walking the spiritual line a bit more, then these are some of the signs that your third eye is certainly opening, or has the ability to open, or would like to open. What I would say is, with all of these things, is that just go with it. Drink plenty of water, and enjoy the fact that you are walking your spiritual path. And there's plenty of things out there. There's plenty of content out there. There's plenty of courses, etc., to look at how you're opening your third eye. My course, if you want to check me out on Udemy, Julian Jenkins on Udemy, you'll be able to see that there's a course there going to be launched, I would say on the 21st of June, which is looking specifically at opening your third eye, which is going to be important. And I'll pop some codes in a little bit later on to get discounted prices, or if you want to visit my site, www.julianjenkinsmedium.com. I hope you found this interesting. If you can, I'd like you to share it. That would be ideal. Or if you could comment underneath about your experiences of your third eye growing, and ideally also if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. I'm currently giving away a free £99 course on my website, which, as I said, julianjenkinsmedium.com, and it's looking at mindfulness, how you can help cultivate and train your mind to amplify both your physical and your spiritual life. So pop across to my website today and you can sign up to that course for free. Thank you very much for watching Spirit Level. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Take care, and just remember, be love and give love. Thank you very much.